guys, welcome back to my channel. Like, share, subscribe, all of that. I wanted to do a video today because I was going to do a 3-part series on the Tony Blair documentary that I'm watching to give you more of a balanced idea as to why leadership is so corrupt and bad, well, especially in the UK, because that's what I like to speak on, and the issues that we're having with these leaders. And so I thought it would be a good idea to do a 3-part series on that because I did speak on him in my last video. However, obviously since then, new news has come out that Donald Trump has declared war in Iran, which is a huge thing in my eyes. It's a big issue due to the fact that, you know, where Iran is located, if and when a war does break out, it is going to affect things globally, especially in terms of oil, energy. The economy is already so shaken, especially in the UK, that this is just not what we need right now. So I just thought it'd be a good idea to maybe speak on this briefly and also speak on the other fears that a lot of the people in the UK have right now. Due to me being so into politics, I do have the opportunity to speak to a lot of people from the UK, and they express to me their concerns and how they're feeling. And a lot of people are feeling extremely, having a lot of negative emotions with everything that's going on. So I thought maybe it'd be a good idea instead to do a video on how you can maybe navigate through these very unpredictable times. Now, first of all, I'd like to touch down briefly on the issue with Iran, and I say briefly because this is America's problem, so I don't want it to kind of make it ours. We seem to do that quite a lot with other countries. And anybody that follows my other social media platforms, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, I did do a well-deserved shout out to Keir Starmer for once. I always say, you may not like a person, but always give them credit where credit's due. And as I explained in the video, he may not be the most highly favoured man, but he has really put England in a good position with America and Iran, in the sense of we're not going to be in full attack going into war with America like how Tony Blair did it, where he decided to just poke his nose in where it wasn't really asked for. Keir Starmer's taken a completely different approach, where for you to understand what he's done, if you're not so into politics or don't understand, what he's done is said to America, you know what, we've got your back. So if anything does kick off and you need us, we're here, but we're not going to be fully involved. We're not going to fully push ourselves into a war. And I think that's a really good strategic move because then it keeps our alliance with America, which is positive. That's good. It keeps harmony going. And although Iran doesn't really like England due to past issues they've had with us, it does show that we really don't want to be involved. This is an America problem. This is an American problem, not so much ours, which is a good to position ourselves. So as much as he has done some questionable things, this does have to be something that he has done that I would say, hands off, that was a good political decision, a good political move. So it will hopefully bring down your fears of thinking that we're going to go into a war. No, it's not that simple. We're not going into war. We just have America's back, and we have to position ourselves like that so there's no fallout with America. Now, obviously, it's more nuanced than that, in the fact that because they're going to attack Iran, this is going to shake things up globally, and there are going to be things that we're going to have to get through and go through. But as we go on, when it comes, this is what life is like. We will deal with it as it comes. This isn't the first time we've ever had to come together and go into war, and it's not going to be the last. So we've survived many other destructions in life. We'll survive this one too. There are going to be concerns due to, Iran being such a huge country. This is a big country. I think it's over 91 million people living in this country. So to go head to head with Iran, it's going to be quite interesting times. But, America does have a good military. So on the other scale, they are coming against a country that is quite capable. So it's an interesting dynamic right now that we're in, America's in, the country's in, there's a lot of things going on, and I can understand why the UK itself is getting to a point where I speak to a lot of people and they are getting quite down with what's going on in, politics, and I can understand why they would be if people really understood politics and what is going on and how it's affecting not only us but the next generation and their grandkids. They do have reason for concern, but the only thing that I can do and offer is, the best advice really for you going forward. As I explained to a few people on the weekend that I'd spoken with who shared their concerns was, number one would be really, really, really I plead with you, don't take all the sources and the news that you're getting for gospel. There are so many news channels out there that heighten the problem or kind of manipulate what's actually happening to create titles just for clickbait, to make you click on what they're saying. And they use fear as a way to get you to click on their page. So when you are taking on, news sources, I really plead with you that you read them from a distance, a very detached way, and be calm with it and just do your own research if that source is actually true. And I say this because I have to do this quite a lot. I get a lot of my news and what's going on because I don't have much time to be, watching the TV on news, and a lot of it is through the social media platforms. When I do a lot of articles and on my analysis on my social media pages, I'm getting it from what's going on in the news, and I always have to double check and cross-reference what I'm being shown. And I'm not going to lie to you, 9 times out of 10, what I'm being told is not true. And the news is being manipulated, and it's the way they've worded it is in a way that kind of conjures up, oh, what's going on? And then when I've peeled back that layer and I've gone past the title of what the news is covering, that's not what's happening at all. This is what's actually happening. So that's why, my channels are safe to watch, because I do cross-reference research, and when I put out information, it is the correct information. And then sometimes I analyze it and think, what's the positive way of going forward with it? But I would really don't take everything you hear as gospel, even when it comes to big worldwide news and everybody's saying it and talking about it. A lot of the time they're not researching it. They are just, this is a great new way to get more followers. It's sad, but it's true. Another suggestion would be to take yourself away from the political arena and the news and everything that is going on. It's really beneficial to have breaks from it. I know it can sometimes consume you. I can get consumed by it. However, I walk in a more of a detached way with it all. And so I understand that there's a reason why I need to be in it. I'm more made to be able to be in it. But I understand that when you are in it, the feeling that you can have when you're consumed with it can make you feel down, can make you feel things aren't going to get better and things aren't going to change. And I said to a friend of mine this weekend that a lot of people, because they watch the news, they only see the bad that's going on. But there are so many people that work behind the scenes that fight for this country that you've never heard of. I meet them every day. I've got a small channel that not many people know what I do, and the people that do know what I do love what I do, because they know I eat and sleep and breathe changing the trajectory and getting things in a healthier way with common sense, have a more of a conserved Britain, and I know what I'm doing and I know what I'm talking about. Not making crazy decisions based on greed or lust or power, which we don't have a lot of leaders that are doing that, but we do exist. So you just will never really hear of us, because a lot of us like to either be behind the scenes, don't really want the attention. There are elements to the things we do to make the world a better place that can also put a target on your back. So you have to move in a certain way where you have to do things quietly sometimes. And that's just how it is. But there are people out there that do fight for the country and empathise with you and have to live in the consequences of what the governments have done. So understand it better than anybody else. And we are fighting forward. And last but not least, I would say the third suggestion would have to be really support and use your gut when it comes to channels like mine. I do get a lot of support, which is perfect, but I'm not the only one out there. There are plenty of other people that really do have a heart for England and aren't getting, getting into rooms of power for their own personal gain, and actually really do care about conserving England and making sure we have a better future for our children and our grandchildren, and understand where the UK are coming from. And you can speak with us without feeling judged or having that fear of, you know what it's like right now, without me saying it. There's certain things you just can't say that are just blatantly in your face. And so the fact that I might be ethnic minority doesn't take away the fact that I completely understand what's going on, and understand where the fear coming from. And you can speak with me freely without feeling that you're going to be judged, or that you can't have this opinion, or I can't see what's going on. Even when it comes to things of being called racist and being called, these are just, I've always said it when I talk to people from England, native UK people, I believe the word racism is a government planted word to get people to be silenced. So, and it doesn't make a lot of sense, because obviously I am half black, so it does come across sometimes, why are you so patriotic? But I'm not here for me, I'm here for the country, and I'm here to do God's work, not my own personal reasoning. So it takes me out of the picture. I'm just here to do the right thing. And you should be able to have the freedom to give me any of your concerns without feeling that you're being judged or being deemed as racist. It's just a trigger word that is being used to silence the UK people, which I really don't agree with, and I'm passionate about stopping. So the more I work hard and the more you support channels like myself, the more I can help you in these dark times. And that there are so many of us out there that don't use politics in a selfish mantra, and do just use it to do the right thing. This isn't about me, this is about doing God's work and putting the country first. So that's who I answer to. So whether people like it or not, this is what we're going to do, and this is how it's going to be. So just to summarise, we are in very unpredictable times right now. I won't take that away from anyone. However, there is always an opportunity to step back from it and reflect. And, we all have power in politics, whether we understand that or not. And it's just down to making the right decision and living in a way that is right. And then be a walking example yourself. So that is even sharing content like this, getting into discussions, sharing content, if that's how much you feel or you want to be involved in it. It really does all add up. I'm a huge believer in you leaving your own carbon political footprint, and I will discuss that in a later video of how much your choices really do shape Great Britain. And it really does. A lot of people seem to think it's just down to leadership, and it really isn't. It's down to a collective, us coming together and showing you, the choices you make will move things politically, either negative or positive. My focus is definitely right now on the Green Party getting in Manchester. That's a huge one for me. That's something that I may be focusing on more. But I will be putting out more out on the political leaders and the 3-part series on Tony Blair. But for now, I just thought I'd do this video to just ease people's concerns, because many people have a lot of worries, and I do get inundated with messages regarding how people are feeling psychologically, emotionally, not great. So I thought it was a video that needed to be put out there. So if you like this video, as always, please like, share, subscribe, and I will see you next time.
Do you want to know what it is?